Okay, the purposes of this tutorial are going to be to show you how to make a Weebly page, as well as work through some of the kinks of a Weebly page. This might be something that you would want to do as a classroom teacher, but I'm also going to make one for us as a professional learning community. So my hopes is that we'll have separate pages for the different content strands. So if someone's willing to take on making one for coordinate algebra, algebra 1, analytic geometry, geometry, advanced algebra. I'll personally be working on developing one for pre-calculus, and that's for, again, a student that is voluntarily taking a pre-calculus course online with me, and something that's going to kind of incorporate some elements of a flipped classroom next year for me. Really, my goal is to increase the amount of communication from students using discussion boards, as well as increasing the reflectiveness using logs. So, without further ado, you can look, that's one of the Weebly pages I already have. I've made a few, but I'm going to make a brand new one. And so I'm going to go to weebly.com. I'm actually going to go into an incognito window so it doesn't bring up my old ones. You can make it using Gmail, but you can also sign up using a different email address. So you can just type in your name and email address and password, or you can use Google sign up. There's other free websites that you can use to create it. I actually host my class website on Google Sites, especially because Clark County uses Google so much. And the new Google Sites is actually pretty friendly, but I use the old Google Sites that requires a little bit more website knowledge, but I have a small background with HTML, so it's not a big deal for me. But I do think Weebly, once you get the hang of it, is actually probably easier to work with for students as well as someone that might not be as tech savvy. So for me, I'm going to add a new site, but you should see this page either way. And so this is not something that I really like about Weebly, is that they make you pick a theme, so it's less customizable than basically when you have a little bit more of a website background. And so what I usually do is I kind of look at the layout in terms of where they put the navigation and font size, font style, because basically all the content on these pages, which they're just going to copy the page entirely as your theme, basically you're going to get rid of all of it. And so what I usually do after I pick one of these website designs is I just strip it completely down and I make a template page, and I copy that template page to make all the other pages. Otherwise, every time you make a new page, you're going to have basically what looks like somebody else's website to start with, and then you're going to have to delete parts of the content and add your own stamp on it. So I'm going to just pick one. I'm going to pick one I haven't used before. So I'm going to start with this Run Against Cancer theme. And since this is a tutorial video, you might want to skip ahead of this part, but I'm going to show you that all I'm going to be doing is clicking through all of this content that they have, which gives you a nice layout for how your website might look. But I like to strip it down and kind of build my websites up from nothing. So I'm going to click around, start editing. I guess that would be a good start. But their format basically works like a bunch of widgets, if you're familiar with like a Samsung phone, or kind of like an Apple phone, although Apple's a little bit more simplified. But you keep adding little blocks, and there's different types of blocks. So I'm going to call this, let's see, we're just going to go with cedarplc.weebly.com. So maybe that's our name. I don't know. All right. So probably don't need it to be Run Against Cancer, but I don't want to kind of change these piece by piece. I'd rather just really just strip down everything and delete everything and then work on the website from there. So I'll be able to change that background photo. But again, if I don't make a template page, a lot of times anytime I make a page, it's going to have you know, elements from this original website layout they give you, which I really just wish they had a blank layout option, and maybe their upgraded premium version has that. It probably likely does, but I'm sure as educators, you know, a lot of times we're not able to just pay for all these upgraded versions of things. So I recommend you fast forwarding through this part, but if you want to watch me X out all these different boxes, you're welcome to. Actually, I'll pause it for you, so I'll skip ahead for you. Okay, so I cleared out all those different boxes. All right, so it's blank down there. And now I'm going to pick a background. What better backdrop than Cedar Shoals High School? So I think I have a stock photo somewhere. All right, let's see. All right, so got a stock photo. Save it. All right. I'm also going to go to the pages, and I'm going to delete all these other pages because, again, it's really just somebody else's website, and it's better to just start from scratch. Although, if you've never worked with a website at all, it might be good to just edit their specific pages. Although I think this methodology is a little bit easier. Alright, I'm going to rename this instead of home. This is going to be my template. Since it's a template and it's not something I want the public to see, I'm just going to hide it in navigation. So I'm going to check this box right here. Alright, decide to have a header, no header, splash. Alright. And so it's done. So it's one of the things you might be looking for save, but it's kind of an auto save. So I have my template page. Now I'll make a copy of it. And this is the page I'll continually making copies of. This new one I'll rename home. And I want that to be in my navigation. Alright. Probably also want to change this. So I can look for a logo, which I might have something from Cedar somewhere. Let's see, it's different stuff I've used for my own website. Let's just do it without a logo. Maybe we'll create one later. Alright, so if text, I'm going to just put Cedar Shoals Professional Learning Group, Cedar Shoals Math. There we go. I got Cedar Shoals Math Professional Learning Community. That's what it looks like. Got the navigation. I have a home page. Alright, we'll start adding elements. Eventually I'll probably add external link pages, so I'm going to show you different pages that you can make. Alright, one that's very helpful is a non-clickable menu page, so basically when you want to create drop-down menus. So, example drop-down. Alright, so I got my example drop-down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my template page, make a copy of it, page 1. I'm going to make 2 more just so you get an idea of how to build a drop-down menu. It's pretty straightforward, but again, if you're taking on this task of making a web page either for your class or for this, if you're making it for your content area, then you probably want to know how to make these different types of pages. All right, so I'm also going to have a standard page. Call that page 2. All right, and you can see, because I didn't make a copy of my template page, I have the background that the template would give me, and then I have to click this and keep redoing it. All right, so that page 2, and I'm going to just add 1 more. Then I want to just make a copy of your template. One bad thing about using a template and hiding out of navigation is every time you make a copy, you got to uncheck it, but it's the price I'm willing to pay. All right, so to make sure that's under the drop-down menu, you can actually just move it to the right. But you can also nest that within it, so it's like those could be at the same level, but maybe page 3 needs to be nested under page 2. All right, so this drop-down menu, it's updating it. Let me refresh my screen. All right. Also, any of the changes that you make, if they're not ready to be published, or if you just forget to, it does save automatically, but it doesn't publish automatically. So if someone was trying to find this on the web, they wouldn't be able to see it until I publish it. All right, so if I go back to pages, that's no fun. Visibility didn't get unchecked. That's why I can't see the navigation. I hit the navigation. All right, so this drop-down menu to page 1 and page 2. All right, if I put page 3 out to the side, I can see 1 and 3, but 2 is nested under 3. If I make it go farther to the left, then it's going to pop out outside the drop-down menu. All right, so they just kind of stagger it to show you what your menu would look like. All right, so that's useful. Helps to make cleaner at the top, especially if you start getting too many tabs. All right, another useful thing is sometimes that you want to link to somebody else's website, so you're not going to your internal website. So, someone else is probably going to make a coordinate algebra page. So if I type coordinate algebra and put some URL. A lot of times when I do external links, I would want the person to stay on my page and it would open in a new tab. So I'll click new tab, it's external. But because I kind of want these websites to work together with one another, I'm going to say open it in the same tab. All right, another page that you might use is a blog page. So I just add blog. It's a different style of page because it again acts as a blog, so you're actually able to post and keep it up to date. And so I'm hoping to use this template with having a blog page and basically different units and having different assignments from different weeks nested in drop-down menus. I'm hoping to be able to evaluate students inside and outside of class, start discussions with them outside of class online, and be able to really cultivate a positive culture in my classroom. And then they'll really have something to show for it too. I mean, even when it comes to like a final exam, it's almost like they can study off their own website. It kind of gives them something to carry with them and be prideful of. All right, so that's the end of this introduction to making a Weebly page. If you're interested in making, if you're a content lead or if you're just interested in making a website in general, let me know. This is something that I'm heading up completely by myself. I just woke up today on a Sunday, and for whatever reason, it just struck me with all the different things that I've experienced in my 5 years, as well as kind of the current class I'm taking and where I see next year going, that I just felt like this was a natural move for me to start a new professional learning community. So if you are listening to this, then I'm assuming you're a part of this PLC. So welcome and thanks for participating. And if you have any questions, you always feel free to ask me. Also, make sure this is on the web. I need to hit publish. So that's important. So now if you go to cedarplc.weebly.com, it's published. Although by the time that you're watching this, it might look a little bit different than what I just made. All right, goodbye.